How's it going, YouTube? This is Daniel Moffat with Moffat Atomics, and here I am showing my loose mock-up for my kx500 AF build. Now, again, you can see some stuff is just kind of sitting around. I have this triple tree on it still. This is from a DRZ 400, and so are these forks in this front tire. This is from a 2007 kx250F, this frame and this triple tree, and this swing arm, and I think the tire also. The subframe is actually from a DRZ 400 as well, and so is the tank, because I bought it for the other frame that this motor was sitting in, and so is this seat, and so are these plastics. So here's my conundrum, and I'll share it with you. Here's my kx500 two-stroke, my 96. I haven't serviced it or anything. I'm still just trying to get the bike like up and running. So I recently just got this frame, and it's a nice frame, and it's a Kawasaki, so it fits this motor really well. So obviously I'm still gonna have to cut this Y to make it accommodate the expansion chamber right here if I do this. But am I crazy? Is it stupid? What do you think? These forks are a little larger than the diameter of this shock on the bottom, so I'd have to put some kind of like little sleeve on that. But I could feasibly even put this triple tree on this frame, but I'd like to use the one that it already came with. Oh, and it kills me. I really want to use this Acerbis gas tank too, because we got it for this frame. This was my initial frame, and I showed it off a little bit in one of my other videos. Here's the expansion chamber. Here's how it kind of sits. Here's why you have to cut an aluminum frame if you're building it, because see, this is a 250 kx-F, which is for 4-stroke. So this is from a 4-stroke frame. So you can see that this Y, what they call it, the Y, this little part right here where the exhaust comes out on a 4-stroke is usually much lower than it is on a 2-stroke. So 4-strokes usually have a much lower Y, so you see you can't fit the expansion chamber on this without modifying this to go a little bit higher. So I've already done it on this one, and this is an RMZ 250 and 08 aluminum frame, and I've done, oh my gosh, all kinds of silly things to this. This had a DRZ 400 motor in it, and when I first conceptualized building this bike, this was my first bike that I started building. Started Frankensteining. But you can see here, this is why even though I've cut it out in preparation for putting a Y on here, even though I've already cut this out in preparation to put a Y on here on this frame, I'm probably gonna end up not doing it, just because I got real creative with this silly, dangerous nonsense. Like there's a little gap in it right here. It's steel meets aluminum. I couldn't TIG weld aluminum, and I didn't realize you could braze aluminum when I did this a few years earlier. So the DRZ 400 swing arm that I have, let's go look at it. Right here, it fits this frame. It fits this RMZ 250 frame. If I can drag it over. I matched it up to fit into this bad boy, so it fits, And the suspension coil, I even have the DRZ 400 suspension coil, and it fits too. It's taut, it's got a piece of all thread that runs all the way through it, and then I have these kind of suspension bars to keep it from flexing. If I was gonna keep this is just a little bit of like aluminum that I pulled up when I took this Y off. I was gonna clear that off. I was gonna put a steel backing on this whole steel ridge right here, drill more holes through it to accommodate these through holes, because these through holes right here, these 3 pieces of all thread were just supposed to give it structural rigidity, and I got these really nice beefy pegs. I'm probably gonna end up taking those off, but I'm gonna abandon this ultimately, because even though I can get it to just barely fit with this DRZ 400 swing arm, it's sketchy. It scares me. I want to be able to take 100-foot drops with confidence, and this just does not fill me with confidence. This pre-manufactured, engineered suspension from having the kx250F subframe and frame, and just buying a suspension coil that'll fit in here. You know, I'm doing everything else Frankenstein, you know. I just spent like, God, it had to be like $600 for this seat and this gas tank. So we're gonna Frankenstein these too. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be goofy. It's gonna be stupid. You got DRZ 400 forks on the front. We have 07 kx500 frame. We have a kx500 motor, a DRZ 400 subframe, seat, gas tank, and then a kx250F swing arm. So it's gonna really be a Frankenstein, but this is the plan. This is the plan as it stands. Am I crazy? What do I do? Is this dumb? Is this a bad idea? Should I just stick it out with this one? No, I think I'm gonna do this. I'll still keep this. I'll build this into something that I'm not gonna try to go like, you know, 120 on, because that's cute. You know, that's cute. I like to laugh. I like to look at this and laugh and think about taking like big jumps on it. Think about it exploding and me dying, and laugh, because that's not a good idea, I don't think. And you know, I make questionable decisions. But here it is. Let me get the far side for you. I already also have plastics for this subframe, so you might be asking, why don't you just buy a subframe for a KX250F? I just have a bunch of scrap, and I want to make what I got work, you know? As you already have an expansion chamber. I'm going to spend a little money on a few nice things. I'm definitely going to buy, I have an FMF pipe and silencer already. I'm going to buy a Recluse clutch. How can you not? I'm going to get the super fancy Works Everywhere carb. And it's funny too, because on this frame it's got like a little wheel roller, and on this subframe for the DRZ it's got a wheel roller too, so it's got like two little wheel rollers. I don't know. Redundancy, you know, I like it. But yeah, the tank that comes with this frame holds like 0.8 gallons, and this one holds 3, so really wanting to use this. I have a Kickstarter for it also, so I don't know. As soon as and here's my plan for the Y on this one. I'm gonna do this one a little smarter. I'm gonna cut right here, right along this seam. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. I'm gonna kind of hollow it out a little bit on the other side, so it's like a little cavity that would fit back onto a pipe this size. And then I'm going to also cut probably like, obviously it's got to be somewhere higher, so I'm probably gonna cut like right inward like here, and then I'm gonna cut right here also. I'm just gonna kind of remove this length, and I'm gonna reuse this Y. I'm just gonna lift it a little higher, and I'm gonna braze it back on, and then I'm gonna cast 2 aluminum squares that are about the thickness of this. But anyway, that's the plan. I'm just gonna cut it off, move this Y a little higher, cast some aluminum blocks, and then I'm just gonna braze them in place, and we're gonna see if that rocks and rolls. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe, and you know, you can watch me build this monstrosity.